Welcome, the podcast where we dive deep into strategies and stories shaping the boutique and luxury hospitality industry. I'm your host, Daniel Renna. For those of you just joining us, we are DMR AI Hospitality Solutions, and we specialize in helping the boutique and luxury hospitality industry scale their revenue and profitability by acquiring new clients. We believe in leveraging cutting-edge technology to enhance, not replace, the human element of hospitality. Today, we have a truly unique guest, Harro Dorsch. Harro is a seasoned hotelier from the Netherlands, now running the Hive at 52, a charming three-bedroom B&B in Weaver, England. With decades of experience in various hotel roles, Harro has deliberately crafted a small, highly personal, and successful hospitality business, boasting an impressive 60% return guest rate. His story offers a refreshing perspective on finding the right size and building deep loyalty in the luxury market. Harro, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me, Daniel.
Absolutely. Your journey from studying hospitality in Holland to working in London and then settling in the northwest of the UK to run the Hive at 52 is a testament to your passion for the industry. Can you start by telling us about your path and what inspired you to create such a unique and personal B&B experience?
Yeah, sure. My path started quite a long time ago. Obviously, I'm from the Netherlands and I've been in the UK for 32 years now. Studied hotel and catering management at what they used to call the hotel school in Amsterdam. And then from there, after that, as part of my study, I had to do 2 placements, and one of them I actually did in Brighton in the UK. And then when I came back, I had to come back, do another placement, which I did at a casino in Holland. And I had to complete my last 4th year to do my exams and things like that. And then I finished that, had to do national service for 9 months. I was one of the last ones who had to do it back home in the Netherlands when they, after mine, they abolished it. So then when I came out of the army, I was thinking, oh, what can I do? So I went traveling a little bit and then decided to try and get a job in London because I had such a good time in the UK. And I came back. And that's 32 years this year. I started off as a commis chef in a hotel in central London, and then moved slowly into the front of house. I did reception for a number of years, group reservations, and ended up, when was it? About the time of 1999, where I became a revenue manager in a 900 bedroom hotel. And from there on, I became an ops manager in a hotel, went back to revenue management, did a bit of ops manager again. So I've mixed it around a bit. And then about 13 years ago, we were thinking, I was in between jobs. I just completed the maternity cover for a revenue manager, and I was like struggling a little bit to get a job in my field. And we started thinking about converting part of our house into a bed and breakfast. It took a little bit of time. I got another job, but we slowly got the planning permission into place and things like that. And then it's 10 and a bit years now, we opened the Hive at 52.
Well, that's just a wonderful story. And the Hive is such a fitting name for a place that sees so many coming and going, especially with that incredible 60% return guest rate. It really speaks to the loyalty that you've built. For a small independent property like the Hive at 52, achieving a 60% return guest rate is phenomenal. What are the key strategies you employ to cultivate such a strong loyalty and personal connection with your guests, especially when you're managing almost everything yourself, from reservations to breakfast to cleaning? How do you make each guest feel so valued that they keep coming back?
Well, I think it's part of my experience, really. I'm quite good at reading people. You know, when a guest sort of wants to be left alone, I sort of leave them alone as much as I can. If they want to chat, I'll have a chat and sit down with them. So dealing with a guest is, I look after the guest the way they seem to like it. And because they're returning guests, you learn more about them. So you know what their likes are and what their dislikes are. So like for me, it's very simple. It's only small. I do it all myself. I've got a little spreadsheet where if I'm not sure if the guests have stayed before, I can see, and I've also written some of their likes and dislikes down as well. So from that point of view, it's relatively easy. I've only got a small property. I just try to look after the guest while they're staying here, because they could stay for a variety of reasons. And then quite often I remember them as well, because they've been back and forth quite often. You sort of remember them, and they leave as guests, or they come as guests and they leave as friends. So I think for me the key is that I treat them the way I think they want to be treated, and we have an open and honest relationship. So if they don't like something, they tend to tell me. They're not leaving me and then go onto the keyboard. They tell me there and then. They say, "Oh, I don't particularly like that." So we learn from each other, really.
That's so great. I love the fact that you have this, like, the personal, more than personal touch. You have a personal relationship and this consistent service that clearly is your secret formula. You also mentioned when we talked earlier your Dutch approach to not spending money on advertising, relying instead on organic methods and platforms like Booking.com for a small percentage of your bookings. In an increasingly digital and competitive hospitality landscape, what are the biggest challenges you face in getting the Hive at 52 discovered by new guests, especially those who aren't visiting relatives or friends in the area? And considering your lean operational model, what cost-effective strategies do you believe are the most impactful for small independent luxury properties to build their brand and attract new clientele without a large marketing budget?
Well, the struggle is really understanding all the different systems. People talking about Google and Google search and SEO and all that stuff. And I am trying to do it myself, but it takes me a lot longer. It's a lot of it's like trial and error and things like that. And sometimes the error can be costly. So that's really where I'm struggling. I don't do any Facebook advertising again, because the cost could jump up quite quickly if you don't do it right. So those really are my challenges, really, to understand things like SEO and make sure that we do it right. And obviously now in these days with AI, to make sure that the Hive 52 is searchable on AI as well. But I'm sort of slowly learning. I've had a bit of time to look at it, and I just sort of pick a lot of stuff up from Instagram or from YouTube or from people I speak to. I'm part of a few communities as well, like Facebook groups and things like that. So you pick little things up from there. So yeah, and it's not really, it's not really, being Dutch and not wanting to spend the money, but the cost could, drive up quite quickly if you don't do it right. So yeah, that's where I'm at, really.
I think that's a very practical approach. I mean, focusing on what works without overspending. I mean, you've also found a unique balance between managing the business yourself and having a life outside of it. Looking ahead, you're considering options like converting the Hive into a holiday let to reduce daily pressure. How do you weigh the desire for personal freedom and reduce workload against maintaining the unique high-touch guest experience that has defined the Hive at 52? What role, if any, do you see technology or automation playing in helping small independent hoteliers like yourself achieve greater efficiency without sacrificing the personal charm that draws guests in?
I think in regards to technology with a B&B, I think it's a little bit more difficult, I would say. If we do decide to sort of to go the STR route or the holiday route, I can put a smart lock on the front door, get everything like that automated, and I don't really have to see the guests. Or I think as a holiday let, it's customers. Then I would say so. It's a bit easy there. Being from with the B&B, I think people still expect the personal touch there. If they don't want the personal touch, they do tend to stay either in bigger hotels where you can do your self check-in, or they stay at a holiday let or something like Yotel, so they don't really need to speak to anyone. It's all done on the phone. So from that point, I don't really think there is much of technology I can implement in the B&B. And also my guests, I've got smart TVs in the bedrooms. I don't think many people use them to as a smart one. They use it as a TV. So those kind of things. So I think it just be little things, maybe go for a smart lock. So now I work on a key system. Maybe do use a smart lock because it's easier for people to come in and out, not having to use a key. But I think from my point of view of my property, and also we're an old Victorian house from 1876. So I have everything very techno, it's not really going to work. But from the other side, I mean, are we calling it technology? I mean, we've got solar panels on our roofs, and we don't actually use a gas boiler anymore. We've got air source heat pumps. So it's a bit of technology there, but it's not very visible to our guests. What else have we got? Smart radiator valves in the rooms as well, so we can actually manage the temperature in the room. We can lower it down. So that's the technology, and I would say that's probably as far as my technology really will go.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Especially you've built such a brand for yourself of being the guy who runs the B&B, right? And so without you, you're part of the draw, basically, I guess. So your insights into building loyalty, managing in a small scale luxury property, and balancing personal life with business are very valuable, I think. You've painted a clear picture of the unique challenges and rewards of this niche. Now, looking at everything we've discussed, from cultivating repeat guests and cost-effective marketing to personal management and future planning, if you had a magic wand and could fix just one thing in the small, independent luxury hospitality sector that would most significantly enable proprietors like yourself to thrive, maintain their unique charm, and achieve both personal and professional fulfillment, what would that one thing be?
Crikey. Well, I mean, we spoke about it. I think what I really would like it to do is the AI system doing my SEO for me. Yeah, and I've seen the question asked quite often and quite a lot, and it's can't do it yet. So for me to say, well, have a look at my website, do my SEO. I think that's, for me as a very small business, that would be my magic wand, because obviously that will help me attract more guests. So I think that's the magic wand from that point, really. Or if I wave my magic wand, suddenly I've got lots of people wanting to book bedrooms. So. But I think it will be, for me, for the AI to develop that much that will actually be able to do my SEO for me.
Interesting. Well, Harro, this has been an absolutely captivating conversation. Your dedication to personal service and your strategic approach to running the Hive at 52 are truly inspiring. And I want to thank you so much for joining us on Leading in Luxury.
Thank you very much for having me.
Indeed. And to our listeners, if you found Harro's insights as compelling as I did, be sure to subscribe to our channel and drop us a like. You can find more about the Hive at 52 in the description below. For Leading in Luxury, I'm Daniel Renna, and I'll see you next time.